Honey, where are my socks? Honey, where are my socks? Honey, where...
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like... Fucker! You fucker! Fucker!
Oh! Huh? What the f...
Hello again, everyone. This is Bionic. I'm your online voice for reviews of your choice, and this is another installment of BS Reviews. Thank you all for tuning in. Before I begin, I'd just like to say a special thank you to everyone who wished me good well and get well soon on my video comments for when I had a cold a couple weeks ago. I really appreciate it. It was very nice of you guys to say. I always appreciate your support and kind words. Thank you all very much. Today, I'll be reviewing the dark CGI animated apocalyptic science fiction film known simply as 9. It has been famously advertised as being produced by Timur Bekmambetov and my favorite director of all time, Tim Burton. Thank you very much. It was directed by Shane Acker and also co-written by Shane Acker along with Pamela Petler and brought to you by Focus Feature Films. It stars the vocal talents of Christopher Plummer as number 1, John C. Reily as number 5, Martin Landau as number 2, Jennifer Connelly as number 7, and Elijah Wood as number 9. And Crispin Glover is number 6. The plot of 9. Set in a world that is basically just like our own, except we're all dead and everything's gone, our future and our civilization has been completely wiped out by renegade machines that turned on us and created a whole worldwide war that wiped out the human civilization and left nothing but ruins and tattered remains left of our entire lives. Awakening to this apocalyptic mess is number 9, the last in a series of strange puppet-like people creatures who have awakened in this world and are now trying to survive in the war-torn place that has now been dominated by strange mechanical machines which from the past war are still trying to destroy all life on the planet and take over, even though there's nothing left. 9 discovers other creatures such as number 2, number 1, and number 7, and discover they all fighting for survival. And when number 9 accidentally awakens the head machine that started the war in the first place, the puppet people must now work together in order to stop the machines and solve the puzzle of their existence while completing the mission that their mysterious creator left for them to do at the end of the war. Review the plot of 9. Absolutely, without a doubt, this movie just practically screams with originality. True, we have seen movies where robots and machines have taken over human beings and tried to destroy our world. I mean, Terminator, iRobot, and such and such. But what really is amazing about this is that unlike other films, we're not focusing on the humans that are fighting the war against machines. We're all dead. We are giving a completely brand new point of view by creating original, unique creatures who are existing in this world and are named only by numbers. It's a different way of approaching characters, and it's a different way to tell the story, which is something that I both greatly admire and greatly applaud Shane Acker for giving this brand new, unique vision of the future with these characters. The whole mystery about what's actually happening with these characters and creatures and the machines that have dominated is interesting. It's kind of predictable to a point. I mean, you can kind of put 2 and 2 together when you see how things work out, but once you finally learn the rest of it, it all falls nicely into place. And that's what I like best about this story. It's very fresh, very unique. They give some hints of you, already do, but it's not completely drowned out by, complexity that you can't figure out a little bit on your own, while at the same time still allowing you room to be surprised later on. It's a very great way to do it, and this is probably one of those darkly imaginative films I've ever seen. There's such vivid imagination with the story, there's the landscape, the design of the machines especially. There are so many incredibly unique machine monsters that are created in this film. It's unbelievable. If Tim Burton had been attached as the director, I could have totally seen that because this really matches his dark little perceptions of films. Review the characters. You got a very strong cast of good actors here. People who not everyone really appreciates or remembers that well, and not many people who would think they could actually, do it. I mean, for example, Christopher Plummer is someone I have known for a long time. I've known him best as the Duke of Owls from the Rock-a-Doodle film by Don Bluth. Most people didn't care for that movie. They can go screw themselves, if you ask me. And one of the highlights of it, as I said, was Christopher Plummer, who's also appeared in such films as National Treasure, and he's appearing in Heath Ledger's last film, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, coming out later on. I really thought he was incredible. I love his voice, and I think he had brought really, really good presence to his character of number one. He fits the role, he fits the image, and he fits the voice so well. Another interesting little surprise was John C. Reilly, who is very goofy and silly in most of the movies I have seen him in, and he did a really nice job being a much more serious and sincere, emotional character. Elijah Wood was okay. He was good. I mean, he wasn't great, but he was good. Same with Jennifer Connelly. They gave good performances. You know, they worked for them. They didn't go too far out of their own talent range, and they didn't go too under it either, so they kind of balanced it out. Crispin Glover, unfortunately, kind of wasted, as he barely has any 2 or 3 lines, so I was kind of disappointed in that. But, as I said, these characters are very original and unique in their whole design and creation. I mean, they have so much vivid imagination with this dark world, these puppet people, and those incredible machine monsters that are chasing after them. You can just tell that someone really took the time and care and appreciation to do the story right, creatively and intelligently. It's very impressive. Review of the animation and the music. Music, beautiful, very dark, echoey, kind of creepy, eerie, lingering apocalypse feeling. It really works with the dark, macabre state that the world is in, and it's very unique. Animation was incredibly detailed. I mean, you really got some beautiful images from this sort of CGI process. It doesn't feel fake or plastic or tacky at all. It just really comes together so nicely. The dark green skies, as I already said, the machine monsters, the fight sequences with the puppet people and the machine monsters, especially the flashbacks when we find out more about what happened to the human race and how the machines all started, and the scientists who started this all by creating these 9 creatures. It's so interesting and so beautifully rendered by the animation style that there is no live-action movie, I think, that could truly represent the dark, gritty, neoistic feeling of this universe that is brought so well by the animation style. I really love that. Flaws about the film. As much as I sound like I really adored this movie, and I did, I really did like it, there has been one problem with the film that unfortunately kind of crippled majority of the thing that kept me drawn into it as heavily as it should be, and that would be the characters. While it is true we got a great, nice cast here, and they're very unique in their design, the truth is, these characters are lacking the one thing that keeps CGI animated films distinguishable from each other outside of animation styles, and that is souls, or spirits you should say. These characters do not really have any spark of a personality. They're very simple, basic character concepts, and outside of their numbers and appearances, there is very little that actually differences in them, outside of a couple of approaches at how they decide to do things. It was really unfortunate because this movie was filled with such originality and creativity, and then you fumble the ball at the last yard line, and just before you get a perfect touchdown, you crap everything out, and you make these characters or very shallow, hollow little shells that really don't have much of a personality. It's so unfortunate because everything was going so greatly until you get to this. And it's a terrible shame because you got good voice actors here who just really don't do anything above beyond the call of duty, and they're restricted by these limited character stereotypes. Not stereotypes, just personas. Particularly Crispin Glover, who has, like, again, maybe 1 or 2 lines, and they're even more limited than everyone else. It's a shame because they were so interesting to look at and to follow. I mean, hell, the first couple of scenes when they're just in silence, that was far more compelling when you actually find out how limited these characters' personalities are. And it's a true shame because I really wanted to like this movie even more, but unfortunately it just didn't come out that way. I also was disappointed that the ending kind of leaves a door wide frickin' swinging open with no real clear explanation as to what the hell is going to happen now. It kind of defeats the whole point of even bringing these creatures into the world when you leave them with an ending like this. It doesn't even seem that obvious for a sequel or anything. I apologize, that's my phone. But in any case, it was just really disappointing that this movie should have been toppled by something as character development. You know, final wrap up, this movie had everything going for it. Beautiful animation, Brilliant original storytelling, nice character designs with the character creatures, the machine monsters were absolutely incredible, the music, the animation was breathtakingly dark and gothic and neo and nitty-gritty and all those other great words. Unfortunately, it just fell short of greatness by these lousy characters who just have no real souls or personalities to really speak of. They were generic, bland, and simplistic, and unfortunately, it just caused everything to kind of crumble at the last minute, and it's very unfortunate. I recommend this movie, but don't expect too much out of the characters. The story can hold you with the originality, but otherwise, I'm afraid not. Bottom line, I give 9 3 stars out of 5 stars. Well, that's all for now. Thank you all for listening. This has been Bionic Slime for BS Reviews, and bye for now.